I'm not going to touch it. This is not something for me to touch right now. This is something for me to just let recording. It looked like it was working. So we are just going to let it work. We're going to let it do its thing. We're going to trust in my technical skill that I have done everything right. And we're going to trust it. We're going to trust it.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Letting the denial set in.
I'm like, I don't.
We'll get to the very end. We'll find out. Lynn's like, so I lied throughout the whole time. What do you mean? That was a pure bluff, guys. Nothing was working. We lost everything.
Oh no.
Well, we wouldn't
Don't worry,
lose.
Lynn. We won't blame you. We'll only just,
We'll blame
cast you out of society, and you'll just be probably put up on the cross, and then who knows? Maybe you'll be crucified. We'll just see.
What?
That just might be the minimalistic of it,
This is not a religion.
Who said it had to be a religion? Your crime was that drastic that you needed to be.
I mean, they were killing people like that before,
You're right. Okay. It was a witch hunt. You're right.
Okay, fair. I didn't think about the history. I'm not a witch. That's a completely different. No.
Witch. Then tell me how you do this sorcery.
I'm a demon.
You're insulting actual witches now. Come on. Now.
You're right. You know what? I'm so sorry, witches. You're right. He's not there yet. But, Right.
Yeah. I'm not a witch. I'm a demon elf.
No way Yuri's not defending him at all. She's just like, she's giggling over there. That's so funny.
She thrives for this chaos. She's the one who's in the middle, and then me and you, we're the ones that go back and forth, and Yuri thrives for it.
I control the chaos. Is what's going on here.
She has the galaxy open. She's zoomed in on the world right now. She can see us bantering, and she is like, okay, this is good. Okay, well, that's going a little too far. Let's bring that back down. She, those big audio rooms in studios, like music studios, or the audio editing room for movie soundtracks, where they have this huge kind of arrangement area where they have all these dials that they are pushing up and down, and dials and slides that they're pushing, and those dials. Yeah, that's Yuri right now. She's in the room. Me and Ayumi are in the studio, and Yuri's the one that's pushing all the buttons and sliding out the slides.
Exactly. I told you, I'm the goddess of the cosmos. I see and hear all and control all.
Yeah. We got the goddess of the cosmos. We got the goddess of creation, and then we have me. Yeah, we got me.
And there's me. Hi guys, I'm Bob. It's me.
Yeah, it's like you got these. You got. Yeah. I'm Bob. Hi, Bob. I'm Bob. I'm Bob. I'm Bob now.
Good job.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 10 of Cloudset. Episode 10. 10. We've been going how long now? Okay, hang on. I need to do two a month. So 2, 4, 6. That 2, 4, 6. So that's 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 8. That's 4 month, and 10. We've been doing this 5 months already.
Yeah.
Now, granted,
I thought you was going to break out into Dr. Seuss verse because you said 1 month, 2 months. I'm like, what? Redfish, bluefish. I was waiting for that one.
Yeah, granted, little kind of back and forth, little rough start, testing out the waters, but now we kind of have it actually kind of serious and going. It's it's on Spotify, it's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, it's on Deezer, it's on Pandora, it's on iHeartRadio, it's on all these different platforms. Which, by the way, if you guys can see on the channel, there's actually a TikTok, there's actually an Instagram, there's actually a YouTube channel, and then actually Spotify. And I just uploaded a clip from the last from episode 9 today onto the Cloudset TikTok, and it got my last number I saw was 572 views. Very good stuff.
Well, we're happy for you. Happy about that.
Happy for me? What do you mean happy for me? You guys are a part of this too. I'm just the one that
Happy
does the
for us.
technical. I just do the technical stuff. This is a
I mean,
joint
yeah.
venture.
True.
But I think we have a couple fun things to talk about today. And sorry for it being a little bit later. It was technical
A
know-how.
little,
Technical
a
know-how.
little bit later.
A
Like a little bit
yeah,
later.
just a little, you know,
Just a little bit, guys. Just a little
just
bit.
a little, and just a little. So,
We mean like 3 hours and a half.
three and a half hours. You know, just a little, But we're here now, and I'm Lynn, and this is Yuri, and this is Ayumi,
Yeah.
and I'm the conqueror of Kaiden, and Yuri's the goddess of the cosmos, and Ayumi is the goddess of creation. And Ayumi likes cheesecake. Yuri, what do you like? What cake do you like? Help me out here. Help me out here. What cake?
I also like cheesecake.
Oh, cheesecake. Okay, the trio of cheesecakes. Okay, but do you like? I like Oreo cheesecake personally.
If you give me a cheesecake, it's a cheesecake. I'm gonna eat the cheesecake.
Okay. Cheesecake. What do you
But if
think?
you really want to make me happy, add
Oh,
some strawberries to it.
strawberry cheesecake. Okay.
Love strawberries.
Yeah, cheesecake is actually like, the reason I like cheesecakes much more than regular cake because here in the U.S., cake is really damn sweet. It's too sweet, especially like any kind of like major. You go to the store unless you make it at home. And overall cake is very sweet for me. I like cheesecake because you get that sweetness, but then you get the cheesy creaminess and that cheese flavor. You know, like, it's not like a bad flavor. It's a good flavor, but it's that cheese flavor. And then you mix that with sweet, and then you have this kind of savory flavor that's creamy and smooth, especially if you get the right cake, and it's great. So I like ice cream cake too. Like these are two different cakes that are quote unquote cake, but and for all retrospects and reasons, in my opinion, they're not cake because cake when I hear cake, it's okay. You have sponge cake and you have frosting, and
Right.
that frosting, it's like the sponge cake's fine, but a cake is not a sponge cake. You're not just eating the bread. If you want a sweetened bread, you could go buy a muffin. You could go and get something from your local bakery. No, it's like a cake. What adds flavor to cake is the icing, the filling. And that filling is always too much for me. Most of the time. I have had a cheesecake frosting though. That was actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not cheesecake frosting, like cream cheese frosting.
Cream cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty good.
Oh, there was this chocolate cake is usually the go-to because like I mean it's the best well balanced one. You
Okay,
can
so see, here's where we disagree.
oh
I'm actually not a chocolate cake fan.
oh why not?
It's like I love chocolate, like in all things chocolate. I'm always normally down for it, but for whatever reason, there's something about a chocolate cake. It doesn't taste the same. Like there's just it looks like this film in my mouth afterwards. So I guess it's the not aftertaste, but it's after texture. There you go. So the after texture.
I know what you're talking about, and it's for me. It's a different cake. I can't remember for the life of me the cake, but I know exactly the type of feeling you are describing because I've had that with a different cake, and yeah, it's not pleasant. I think it's for me. I think it's the buttercream frosting that does that to me. Give me one moment.
See, I don't think buttercream frosting does that. Not for me.
I'm back.
Welcome back, sunshine.
Thank you.
We're just talking about cheesecake.
More so, it's like after each bite of a chocolate cake, it gives me that film feeling, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, yeah, no, that film feeling is never good. Um, I was gonna say,
Cute.
Ayumi, are you okay with me pinging Riva about the cloud set as well right now?
I'll do it.
You'll do it? All right, cool. Um, Ayumi, tell us your favorite type of cheesecake. I said mine. Yuri said hers. Now it is your turn.
Every single one except for
Oh,
strawberry.
Oh, damn.
oh, damn.
And none with nuts in it.
Okay,
So
okay. Why would you put nuts in cheesecake?
you don't know
Wow.
what these people will do, okay? They put nuts on everything.
Nuts
You
don't
don't know
belong in
what peanut
cheesecake.
butter people do. They be eating
No,
peanut butter
no.
off of spoons.
Okay, yeah, but that's peanut butter. But peanut. Don't tell me there's a peanut butter cheesecake. Please don't tell me there's a peanut butter
Bruh.
cheesecake.
There
There is
probably is.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh, that does not sound good. That does not sound
Yeah.
good at all.
I
Okay,
don't like peanuts nor peanut
you don't
butter.
knock it till you try it.
I'm knocking it,
Okay,
and I ain't
okay.
trying
Ayumi,
it. I'm sorry. Only because I'm not a peanut butter lover.
do you?
I hate it.
What about almond butter though? What about almond butter?
No nuts, no pistachios,
No
no
nuts? Not even
peanuts,
salted
no
nuts?
nuts, no salted nuts. The most I'll
Oh,
do, those little nuts on the street, I'll suck them off the salt and I'll spit the nut out.
wait. Sorry. Back up. Back up. Back up. Those
I know
little
what I said.
those little
You
nuts
heard
on the
me.
street.
I said it
What?
with my chest.
What nuts on the street
I
are you
said
talking
it
about?
on my there are these trucks in New York City that
Oh,
they
okay,
sell. They're called like four nuts, and they just like sell nuts like hot dogs.
Is it like
But no.
like a vendor stand, kind of like a small little
Yeah.
vendor stand? I think I've seen them when I've been in Manhattan.
Yeah,
I think I've
they're
seen them.
pretty good. Like I love finding those little truck people and like getting the nuts because they're delicious.
Oh yeah, I think in Central Park is where I saw
Because like
them.
they have like cinnamon and brown sugar and stuff on them. Like they're really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
But this one's not Ayumi's more feminine leaning instead of men's leaning.
Huh?
She don't like nuts.
Oh, interesting. When you first said those nuts on the street, I thought you were literally saying like there were nuts on the concrete, and I was like, wait, what? Don't tell me you're just going around picking up nuts off the concrete.
Yeah, let me just pick up these nuts. I'm a bird. Peck, 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 peck.
No,
I knew exactly what she was talking about, and I was like, I really like those. I mean, we went on an adventure to try to find some because like Yuri really wants the little candied nuts, so she's like, we're gonna go find them.
candied nuts are so good. They really are. Oh,
They are.
I'm trying to remember like when the last time I was in Manhattan, what did I get? There was this like one snack that I got. It was in Central Park. I think it was winter. It was in winter, so they had the whole ice skating rink. Or no, maybe it was fall, so they had the carnival set up. Funnily enough, I don't think I've ever had a hot dog from like a hot dog stand to my memory. In NYC.
I mean, it's nothing special really. It's the same as anywhere else.
I know, but it's kind of like it's not about the taste. It's about the kind of the action of it. I mean, it's like you come to what do you do here in California? That's kind of a staple that signifies California. I don't know. I don't know.
California dreaming.
Go to the beach. I mean, yeah, go surfing. Cool. Oh, okay. Speaking of California, so obviously Ayumi, I know you felt it. The 4.8 earthquake that hit the East Coast. So earlier today I found a meme that was posted on Reels. I think I posted it in the Cloudset group chat. And it was kind of like the caption is like New Yorkers like being like super shocked that there's an earthquake because like in history that was the biggest earthquake that the East Coast has had in decades. They have not had an earthquake.
I heard it was we haven't had one for the past 50 years.
Yeah, it's the biggest one I think within the last century for you guys. Whereas the meme is basically New Yorkers freaking out over this big earthquake, 4.8, and then California being over here. It's like, yeah, so you want to go hiking, or it's like because earthquakes here, it's like unless it's more than a 6, we don't really care.
Hey, you're not gonna downplay our feelings. My house was shaking, okay? My
I know. Okay.
animal
No,
fell off. No, you don't know, okay? If you knew, you would have been there. Listen, I woke up. I was sleeping. I fell asleep last night, and then I woke up, and then it felt like somebody was fucking driving their truck into my goddamn house. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I'm like, holy shit. And it just like kept shaking. I'm like, holy shit. And then it just like kept shaking. And then before I knew it, it stopped. And then I just sat there with my eyes open. I was like, huh. So then I went to go on Twitter because that's the obvious thing to do.
Oh yeah, no, it's like, trust me, California.
New York, did you hear that? New York, are you feeling that? Oh my God, New York, was that an earthquake?
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody and their mother knew about the earthquake, but nobody was like. I heard there was one person who ran out their house and left their dog inside. That
poor dog.
They were like, listen, survival instincts kicked in. The dog had to go. It was me or the dog, and it was obviously I was the best choice there. So it was just like, it was a lot of things coming out into light. I feel like it was more than just the earthquake. It was really
the fact that it happened.
The reactions.
Oh, okay.
That's really what was the stimulating part for me. There was so many. That day was a goddamn waterfall of hell. Like it just, it was like steadily going up, and then as soon as it hit its peak, it just went down. Like as everything that could possibly happen that day happened. An earthquake, a bad day at work, some bad shit in my real life. Like it was just a pitfall. I just fell from heaven. It was just like what? Imagine an angel and their just wings just got clipped off randomly. They don't even know why. It just like happened.
Yep.
It woke up.
Yep.
Wings clipped and then they just fell. So it was just like it was just, I know it was not just me too, because there were so many things like when I went to work, so many people were like stressed. Like I was afraid. I was like literally afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all the reactions and emotions that were just like feeling. Like New York City at that time was like a cesspool of emotions that I could not comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm usually one to decipher emotions, but that day I could not decipher a single emotion. And now it's like all gone. It's just like a blur. It's just like something that happened.
I was like, yeah, that happened. Back on. Manhattan must continue moving. Like,
unfortunate.
But it's
because it was literally.
That makes it like kind of so scary. It's like if you think about like, okay, so like in LA, you guys are used to earthquakes, so you build your homes and your buildings and stuff to take that.
Mm-hmm.
So like your bridges and stuff, they're more equipped to do that.
Yeah. Whereas
in New York, everything's something but stone and steel.
Yeah, no, it's like
they don't have the same type of sway as the buildings and stuff there.
Yeah, your structures are not designed for earthquakes because there's no reason. I mean, it's like it's a requirement by code, but also you have a lot of buildings there that are like 50 years old, 100 years old before they because of code, the building code gets updated all the time. They're more concerned. I was watching a video a little while ago. They're more concerned about fires than they are about earthquakes, which is why you see fire escapes everywhere. They actually build these buildings with a fire code in mind. It was actually quite interesting.
Yeah, and like they're taking into account also like the wind and all that stuff. Like from when they get so high.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll plan for stuff like that for like the wind hitting the buildings and things like that, but they don't plan for an earthquake.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I can relate in a different way, whereas hurricanes. So it's like we get earthquakes, you guys kind of get more hurricanes. So when the reverse happens, because back last year we had a category 1 tropical storm, downgrade to tropical storm, but it hit that's the day when everyone discovered that a hurricane was going to hit LA. Yeah, no, people were actually that was a day where people were going and stocking up on stuff because it means it was a category, I was tracking it. It's because it was a category 5 out at sea, and then it just slowly downgraded. Mm-hmm. I think it was at its peak when it hit, when it made landfall. I think it was a category 2, and going. So Yeah, no, like I get that. It was quite funny. And this is now going back to earthquake and how Californians kind of make more jokes out of earthquakes, because I quite literally had a situation where I was in a cafe and it was like I think a 5.0 that hit us, and like we're in the coffee shop, and then the place starts shaking, and we like I like look around, and it was like for like 10 seconds, and then I was like everyone in the kind of in the store just stopped. Everyone was like, what was that? And then like I Googled, and then like this stranger that I never talked to were like, yeah, so that was an earthquake. Huh. Okay, interesting. And then like everyone just in the coffee shop just started having conversation about the earthquake. It was funny.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But no, yeah, definitely like from what I've seen in reports and articles that I've read, there was no infrastructure damage to NYC from the earthquake. Now, I don't know about New Jersey and Pennsylvania, but I know for NYC.
Yeah, they all felt it.
Yeah. For NYC, though, there was no structure damage, no infrastructure damage. So, luckily for you guys, it was more the fear factor of it than actual damage, which is good. Which is good. And glad
I was literally sitting here like, why is everybody acting like nothing's going wrong? And people are just going on the bus, people are going to work, people are like, I was like, it was 11 a.m. and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I don't want to leave my house. And I was like, but I need money, so I left.
the infamous decision maker of the
It's
day.
dangerous. I don't want to leave, but I need money, so here I go.
Yep. That's exactly how it is.
The infamous
Oh my god,
yeah.
Eminem in the flesh? No way.
I don't listen to Eminem.
He's a rapper.
I know who he is. I don't.
And he's coined by the black community. He's a beacon of holiness. We love Eminem.
Cool.
Yeah.
For me personally, I've never been crazy into hip hop or rapping or any of that, but I will say there have been some good songs that I've heard, but that's never been like my major forte for music.
Me neither.
For me, it's like I like more
Really?
kind of the
Yeah.
um
Like it's different when it's like Korean K-pop, because it's like, you know, they're just like being like, it's not as bang bang shooty shooty big booty ladies all the booty, you know. It's like, you know, not that I hate rap music. It's just
no, it's like it's good if you enjoy it. More power to you. It's just not everyone's personal preference. Like I know, like I'll just give like a very example that everyone will know. Like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's music, I'm not a fan. I'm not like it's like
Lynn, I'm gonna need you to be quiet. I'm gonna need you to be quiet. Listen, Lynn. For the sanity
But I will
and
fight
sake.
for the T-Swift. How dare you?
Oh no!
I'm a T-Swift fan.
Oh
T-Swift
no! Lynn,
No.
I don't know if
I-
you've been noticing, but all of the beef that's going on right now in the music industry is Beyonce versus Taylor Swift, and
Oh, okay,
I
well,
don't want no
okay.
T-Swift
Okay,
on us.
No,
We're puny. Well, they'll track us down.
I
They'll
don't
find our justice.
I don't know what's going on between them.
That's why I'm trying to save us. So stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I can say this. I have a lot of respect for Taylor Swift as a person. Like her music doesn't draw me in. It doesn't. That's like nothing bad, nothing. It just doesn't draw me in. That's not my personal genre. But for her like because
fan base.
well, her fan base is great, and more power to her for the what's it, empire? Would you say that she built? Because I guess you could classify it like that. She's very much a very powerful, and like the Eras tour last year and this year is on track to earn like a bit. Like the Eras tour is on track to earn $1 billion this year. And then last year it earned $1 billion. So from her tour, she's set to earn like $2 billion. Now, this is before anyone says anything, this is not Taylor Swift earning $2 billion. This is her brand earning $2 billion. And then she's paying all the costs, because then you have to factor in the costs of the where she's going, because these venues that she's doing the concerts at, they're huge. They're like, I think some like can host over 100,000 people or more. They're huge. And then there's crew. She pays her crew well. That is one thing, like all crew that I've worked with that have even heard, like all general crew, like she pays her crew for the production of her tour well. Like no one is paid unfairly. They are all paid generously, I would say. Like generously in the prospect of they're not being paid bare minimum, and they're not being overly paid where it's like they're not being paid an obnoxious amount, but they are being paid good.
May I ask where the thought process went?
Thought process?
Because we were talking about music taste, and now you're talking about her.
Oh, okay, yeah. Bring me back. I don't know. I'm going down a different rabbit hole because I went down this rabbit hole a while ago.
Yeah, I was like sitting here listening. I was like,
where'd the rabbit hole go from?
It's spiraling.
Well, I mean, okay, it's quite literally, it's a clip.
I don't mind you spiraling, but I was literally listening the entire time, and I was like, wait, what the hell were we talking about? And I just remembered
What's funny is I literally made a clip about this that I'm going to be posting on like a little short clip from last episode where you were literally talking about about when me and you have a conversation in DMs where it's like I write you a 13-page essay and then you're like, I've discovered the way to talk to Lynn. When I talk to Lynn, I need to write a 13-page essay as well, because otherwise he's going to respond to me responding to him, and then we're going to sidetrack, and then we're going to go from point A to point B, and we don't know how we got there.
Exactly. I literally need to, if he sends me something, I need to respond in that format back, because if I do it bit by bit, he'll respond to me responding, and then I won't get a chance to finish, and then we'll just go. There was literally this one time I started going piece by piece down his paragraph, and I started at the very tippity top, and then he said, "Oh my god, same!" And then we were like, "Oh my god, same!" And then we went to a whole different topic. I was like, "Wait, let me go back to this." And then we did the same thing 3 times that day. 3 times.
Yeah,
it was very funny.
I can spiral. I can find like this tiny little crevice in a conversation, and I'll be like, "Ooh, let's open that up." Like I grab the crowbar and I open up this lid, and I'm like, "We're going in here, guys. You're following me now."
Oh dear. Oh dear.
He's trying to get us back in the basement.
Oh no! I just watched this movie.
Oh, movie?
It was called Glass.
I haven't heard of it.
It was pretty interesting. Anyways, they broke out of the insane asylum, and they're supposed to be like superheroes or something. And so yeah, they're trying to keep us in the insane
Does it have
asylum.
Morgan Freeman?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know what movie you're talking about. I never watched it, but I saw the trailer for that.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Great actor. Okay, back to music.
Yeah, back to music.
Mm-hmm. So write the thought down.
The thought was just basically there's various types of music, and they all draw different people. Like for me personally, I'm a mix. I know what I don't like, but other than that, I'm kind of like floating. Sometimes I'll go down like a little rock rabbit hole, then I'll just kind of be like a more casual. But I'm like I don't listen to like one particular kind of music like straight. Like, okay, this is my overall, I will listen to this nonstop. I kind of, what's the word? Experiment, float, transfer. I don't know.
You just have a variety, like a lot of people do.
Yeah. Like a more variety. That was the thought that I believe I had before
before you spiraled. He was going out of control. Mayday.
I can just
no, but it's okay.
Yeah. I can just picture like you guys in a room just like, okay, Lynn's having a conversation. We need to now keep him in control. Oh, red alert. He's going off this way. Dial it back.
I know exactly what to do. I'm going to get a little buzzer and I'm going to strap it to the back of your neck so that every time Would you prefer your back? Where would you prefer?
I don't
your
know.
butt? What would be the most noticeable?
I don't know.
It has to be like it has to not be uncomfortable, but in a place where you feel it and you're just like, okay, I need to stop.
I would think I would feel it everywhere.
Oh dear God! You want a bodysuit of the buzzer?
What? No, that's not what I said. Do they? Those don't tell me those are actually a realistic thing. Please don't.
Don't believe so.
Okay,
I don't think
good.
I have the money to fully equip that. So I think a small little.
You're
buzzer for your hand.
You're gonna just get this like it's like cross nation. All right, this is how we're gonna keep Lynn from spiraling out of control. It's like, okay, we're having a conversation, but Lynn, you're going out of control. Get back.
Yeah, it will trigger him to know. he'll be what is it called? Programs? No, he'll be wired. Like we'll train him to know that he's
Train. I'm not a
spiraling.
dog.
Down.
No.
Anyway,
He was basically asking me to say it.
But
Yuri.
yeah, Yuri, you were trying to say something?
no, it's fine.
Oh God, we're talking over her. Yuri!
Oh,
We love you.
Yes, very much so. Don't hate us. Don't hate us for going off
Are
track.
you trying to compete with my love for Yuri?
No. I'm not.
What?
I'm not competing with anything. I'm not
What
competing.
are you trying to do here, Lidoxy?
Nothing.
What are you trying to
Nothing.
Wait. So wait, you don't love me?
That's not
You
true.
don't love her?
Of course I do.
So
course
you're
I
trying
do.
to compete?
No, I'm not competing. I'm just here. Can't I just be here?
Oh my God.
This
All
is-
I hear is he doesn't love me. He doesn't
That-
like
no,
me. He
no.
doesn't care about me.
Then we're gonna have a problem.
That's not at all what's happening. When I say like this, I will be in a conversation, and it's like with like especially when you approach certain topics, it's like you got to be very careful. I just accept the fact that I'm not going to win, but how can I minimize my loss? It's like, well, where do I go? Because remember those times where Livy would come into chat and it'd be something like with you, Ayumi, and she's like, wait, are you not saying my wife is dateable? Wait, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. So you want to do but it's like it goes back and forth. It's like I can't win. I'm always just the
We just like putting.
Oh, man. He calls himself the conqueror, but he doesn't conquer anything.
Shit!
Not yet. Just you wait.
Oh shit!
Just you wait.
Oh shit!
You
That was such a good zinger.
a good a good what?
Like a zinger. It's like she got you. I don't know what it means, but that's
Gaziner?
basically a
Gaziner?
zinger.
A zinger.
Like a
Yeah,
zing.
perfectly.
A,
No, you got it right.
a zinger?
Mm-hmm.
What's a zinger?
He's saying it like it's a foreign word. Let's look up the definition.
Yeah, look
I
up.
know there's a-
What's the definition to this? Because zing, I've never heard.
A striking or amusing remark.
Huh. Interesting.
Lynn learns a new word.
I gotta
Lynn,
put.
can you spell singer?
Z. I want to say ZINGNER.
Oh, you get a gold star.
Wait, did I actually
Who's
get
a
it first
good
try?
boy?
No. You're gonna
Whoever
find
knows
and
he wants to
you're gonna find any situation you can to do that, aren't you?
Hello.
Yes, he is.
Oh my goodness! Help! Someone send help! Someone send help! I have two goddesses after me. Help!
You know, anyone else would be begging to have two goddesses after them.
True.
I'm.
Oh dear.
So you're saying, huh? I don't get what's this. What's that supposed to imply? I don't. Okay.
I'm so lost.
I'm lost as well. Like just put me in the stereotype of lost people because I'm lost. I'm lost.
Oh dear God, he's lost.
I'm lost.
What was our last conversation?
Good
We were going on
point.
about music, and then you guys like realized you ever talked over me, and then I was like, "Oh no, it's fine." And then we got the joke of, Never cared.
Got it.
Yuri's the one who keeps us on track. She really is. She's like me and Ayumi. We are so active. I think that's the best way to describe it. We're so active that we are like just going everywhere. And Yuri's like, "Hang on, get back down here, ground yourself, focus."
Okay.
Well, I'm focusing. I'm focusing as best as I can focus. The best time when I'm focusing though is when I come to you and I'm like, I have written 3 pages today. You can tell I got focused. I think my record in one day was 5 pages. Although with chapter 2, I got of Snowfall, I got like towards the like once I finally got past like page 8, I think like I got the rest out really quick. Because I figured out exactly how I wanted to end it. Which that reminds me, I've been thinking more on like the ending of the book to kind of more finalize like the exact structure. Because like I have the last line, right? That I have written. Well, a lot of like advice that I've seen, plus kind of what I want to do. I've been thinking more of like, okay, how am I going to structure the ending? What's the actual ending part going to be? Like, how do I end it? And I have the general broad idea of, okay, I know what's going to happen. And because of that, I can kind of now see a very faint path of how I need to write Nyx going forward, or write the adventure plot going forward from here.
Isn't it nice to have like an idea where you're going?
It's very, very faint. Yes, it is. Like, for the first chapter, I just kind of the idea came into my head and I wrote it. The second chapter, I got hit with that kind of very brief that wall of like, what do I have to grab onto so that I can keep this going forward? And I think I actually finally have that. Of from like the session, like that the advice you guys ever think you ever think English is a hard language? Me too. From the advice from the advice that both Yuri you gave me and Ayumi you gave me, I think like I did pretty good with chapter 2 on the general pillars. I refer to them as pillars because I like to view it as pillars of information. And I pull from these pillars for specific bits of information as I'm writing the chapter. And you're kind of going through a city in a way of pillars as you are gathering this information. And it's the foundation. And there was like I was watching a video yesterday of just general writing tips, and because I was like, what can I improve on right now, writing wise, aside from just writing. And one thing I'm going to do is just kind of I want to get the ending. First I want to write chapter 3. I want to kind of put up bullet points of what I want to do for for the ending of the book, and then kind of try and put bullet points of specific events throughout, like a very rough outline, so that I can kind of have this not periodic table, that's chemistry. I want to have like this kind of plot points of, okay, we go from A to B to C to D to finally E. And that way it's more...
Lynn teaches you the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. I hope you guys all understood that because I'm not saying it again.
Oh dear. Teacher, I didn't get the middle letter that comes after E.
F.
How do you say it again?
F.
Can you say it one more time? Can you put it in a sentence?
You use the letter F in the word flounder. Flounder means to go and what does flounder mean? Because
how do you use flounder in a sentence?
He floundered his opinion. No. Floundered.
Yeah, Mom, can you pick me up? I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about.
Flower. You know the word flower, right? The word flower has the letter F.
I love how it's dead silent.
No, because I
You're
didn't think I would distract him this far. Okay, I'm so sorry. What were you saying? You were talking about the book, Liv. You were talking about the book. How you were going from A, B, C, D with your ideas.
Basically, it's the general, very like simple but brief kind of like major plot points of where I can know what I'm writing towards, and that way I'm not so focused on chapter by chapter. Rather, I'm focused on Throngul adventure, something to something, and that way it's like, okay, I know what these points are. Now I just fill in the gap. Filling in the gap, I feel I can do. I feel like I can fill in the gap pretty well. It's those concise, like concrete points that I need to have. If that makes sense.
The concise, concrete points.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like that's something I was thinking about writing wise yesterday. Yes. Yesterday, because like one of the tips was like outline, especially because it's fantasy. Fantasy can get very complicated very quickly, and like right now I'm able to get away with it because I don't have many characters yet.
Right.
But once I start introducing like 3 more characters, I'm like, yeah, no, I can see how I'm gonna get lost. Which now I have been doing pretty good. Like I'm writing for specific, because one of the tips was don't dive too. And I remember Yuri, me and you talking about this. Don't like dive too much into like the history of the world. It's, well, is the audience ever going to know this history? No? Then why is it being written? Because it's not needed. I think I'm doing good on that part of, I'm not diving too far into the rabbit hole of writing history that's not going to be needed. Because like, I mean, the Throngul, I wrote that. Like the stuff with dragons, I know I'm going to be using that. The battles, like the Battle of Clayton, I was like, okay, this is going to be mentioned. This is going to be information that will be found out, so I need to write this. And it's kind of more, I'm writing it on an as needed basis. So, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, but this another thing. And I think I'm doing pretty good, and this works well to diving into another one of our topics, because it's saturation. And in like fantasy, this is like in the video that I was watching, one of the things was figure out. Now I'm glad I know what I'm doing with the story I want. I'm not really trying to. I want to say it's unique. Original. That's the word. It's original to what the story is. I'm not trying to copy anything. It's like, it's this genuine world that I have. But anyway, the tip was like, fantasy is such a very saturated genre, and there are many different things. Right now, it was interesting because I kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. Like a big trend currently is they're doing a lot of like kind of more modern fantasy, urban fantasy, or sci-fi fantasy. And because when you think fantasy, where does your mind immediately kind of go to?
Magic.
Magic. Now, what setting does that magic take place in? I'll give you the options. Is it like your modern day city? Is it kind of, maybe you're in the older times?
Old time, yeah, like olden times.
Olden times, as
Mine's
in
more like in the past. Like I think Tolkien first.
Yeah.
When I think Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Like that's the very first ones that come to mind.
Yeah. So fantasy for me is, when I think fantasy, I immediately dive into the medieval, because of just the sheer amount of stuff that I know is in there. The medieval fantasy. But what seems to be like a current trend, and this is interesting, is there's a lot more urban fantasy that is being written nowadays, kind of more modern day fantasy, where it's because at the core of it, fantasy is fiction. It's not a one all be all. It's no, it's just fantasy means you're making this up. This is a completely different world. It's fictional. It's not based in any of our reality. That's the very simplified version of fantasy.
True.
And fantasy
Very
will
true.
always be my favorite genre because of just the sheer capabilities. Like when it comes to movies, when it comes to books, when it comes to just general characters, I like medieval fantasy. Now, urban fantasy is cool. Futuristic fantasy is cool. Don't get me wrong. But medieval fantasy, I've always been a fan of that. Because medieval fantasy, to me, I associate like that's where you have magic, that's where you have swords, that's where you have this hand-to-hand combat, and you have magic, yes, but you also have a lot more mythical creatures. When I think of mythical creatures, I do not think modern time. I like mythical
No.
creatures. I think immediately medieval, because when you say modern, you think of your current the society situation. We have buildings, we have phones, we have technology, and now like while there's animes and stuff that will do things really well, like Jujutsu Kaisen, that's kind of you could say modern fantasy, with these curses and these demons and this kind of delving of magic mixed with modern. Very good. But that's it. You don't have much else than that. But then you dive into this fantasy and medieval fantasy, and you have creatures like unicorns, dragons, sphinxes, Pegasus. It's like it's interesting to me how, because of how heavy the saturation of medieval is, so much of our current mythological creatures are based on you. When you hear it, you think medieval.
Dragons,
Exactly.
goblins,
Mm-hmm.
Lynn. He's an elf.
I mean, yes,
Even else, yeah.
but saturation, I think, can apply.
Be a good thing.
Oh, yes, saturation can be a very good thing. It can also
Because
be
how
a
else
bad.
am I gonna get my fantasy yaoi without the saturation? Like,
True. Well, when saturation, I feel okay. Well, for saturation, because there are two meanings, and because I've edited pictures and done things. When I say saturation, I say quantity.
I think we know the difference.
Well, I say because I'm saying this more for me, but I'm just gonna say it.
Oh,
Because saturation, it's spelled the exact way, it's said the exact same way, but saturation can be your grays and your reds. You can make something more red, you can make something more gray when it comes to photo editing. Anyways, saturation, quantity. When you have saturation, that means I would like to say there's more demand, because you can't, in my opinion, I don't think you can saturate something without there being a demand for it.
This is true.
You can't because the reason, like for a cause, what's that law? For every cause, if a reader wants a specific type of fantasy, for example, well, they don't have that fantasy, and this person knows how to write. Well, they may just go and straight up write that fantasy. And then they will maybe expose it to 100 readers. And then maybe 20 of those readers are writers, and they want to write something picking off something of that world. And they're like, and they can't find something that they want to write. So they're like, okay, we're going to write this. And then all of a sudden now you have a giant chain of people, and then you start to saturate it. Now, saturation can also be very bad, because when it's so saturated, it can be hard to break out of the saturation in the way that you want to break out of it, where you introduce something fresh, where something unique, because it's so overly saturated that almost everything's taken. And so introducing something new can be hard. And this can apply to reading books, movies, and streaming. This is where it can go to. Well, I mean, it can go to every major industry. Like, just when you say burger, just tell me off the top of your head, what are the first 3 burgers that come to your head? Brands.
Bacon burger. Oh.
Brands. What are the? It's
McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King.
Burger King.
Exactly. There are multiple, and for one item of food, you have at least 150 different chains making the exact same type of food. Now,
That just means I have to eat all 150
no,
burgers.
no, because a lot of them are crap.
I
Remember,
don't think you understand. Ayumi loves burgers.
Listen,
That's like
crappy
her go-to.
burgers. Yeah, listen, a crappy burger is still a burger. It's actually pretty good.
have you
Like,
had
when I went to
shake?
visit Ayumi years ago,
Mhm.
a couple years ago, I was like, hey, you know, like, where's a good place to eat? Like, you know, where you like to eat? And she's like, she got real quiet and she sat there and thought. She goes, oh. She's like, huh. She's like, I can recommend you a good burger place, but anything else, no.
Yeah,
So I was like, you really love burgers.
I mean,
Because if you ask me about a burger place, I can give you 5. Anything else, I got nada. Not
Yeah,
a
so like
thing.
the irony was like where we were going, she goes, oh, I've never ate here. And it's just like, you've lived here your whole life.
I mean, yeah, yeah, that happens. Now, Ayumi, have you had a mushroom burger from Shake Shack?
No.
Okay, whenever you can, put that on your to try list.
I'll go get it tomorrow.
Tell me your thoughts, because I fucking love Shake Shack's mushroom burgers.
We apparently have a Shake Shack nearby. I was so
Oh.
surprised.
Yeah, no, it's like I remember like when I was
right there. I think it's like near the square, like a little bit of like maybe a block away or something.
Oh, yeah,
I just
there
remember you
too.
like you walk
Oh,
through it easily.
like I remember one time when I was visiting, there were like 3 Shake Shacks in the vicinity of Central Park. One that was like a Shake Shack stall in
Yes.
Central Park, then one that was on a corner of like one of the main streets going surrounding Central Park, and then I think there was one that was like 3 streets down. So it's like Shake Shack it originates from New York. We have Shake Shacks here, like at the Century City Mall. There's a Shake Shack that's there, and then there's elsewhere, but definitely more prominent in New York because I'm pretty sure Shake Shack originates from New York.
Well, why don't they give us In-N-Out?
Uh,
I'm highly offended that I don't have an In-N-Out here.
We don't have Shake Shack here, but we have In-N-Out.
You do?
Yeah. Do you want to go when you come visit?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll have to tell me your thoughts. In-N-Out's good. Yeah, like we have like I think I believe In-N-Out originates from California, but I know they have locations around the nation because I've seen.
Besides New York,
Yeah, but okay,
I wake up
but
dreaming
you
in
have,
my sleep.
but you have.
I'd be drooling
Okay,
just
okay,
thinking about going to In-N-Out.
I wouldn't hold
I'm
it.
gonna wake up tomorrow with Ayumi blowing my phone up like, "Hey, so I'm at the airport. Where are you?"
I really
here
considered
with
just
eight.
now. I really considered just now how much a plane ticket would be because it's just down there to Yuri. I know we've been talking about it, but maybe we could speed up the process. I'll just have to borrow some money.
I promise her good burgers.
That's all it took. That's all it took. It's like you want to get Ayumi to go somewhere. It's like offer her a good treat. Like a good burger, good
Maybe I'll
cheesecake.
just grill you a really good burger.
Oh yeah,
that
do
would
that.
be even better.
Yeah,
Like, home cooked
how about-
burgers are so good.
Yeah, how about you get the home cooked and then you save your Well, okay, no, that's in 2 years. Your In-N-Out craving may overtake you by then. But I was gonna say it's like wait till you come to California for TwitchCon next year, and then we can go to In-N-Out. But that's in 2
I
years
need
or
an
a year and a
In-N-Out
half.
burger now.
Yeah. I don't think your yearning for that can last a year and a half. I think you'll break at some point.
The sooner you get the Southern experience.
I'm ready to go to a hoedown, throwdown.
A what?
Okay, so I actually don't do. I actually don't go to hoedowns.
Really?
What is
Aw.
that? What is
I've
that?
never done like we never went to ones where you did the line dancing and all that.
Wow.
I'm so confused. What are you guys talking about?
I just said hoedown, throwdown. What's the proper name for it, Yuri?
Um, I think we normally just out of funny we just call it that too. So I don't think we actually ever.
Oh.
Well, what
It's
is
just a
the activity?
Oh.
line dancing.
I just love
It's like you just go to a place where it's like a bar, and all of a sudden it's just music, and you just line dance and
Yeah.
drink and eat and have fun.
So it's a
Like it's just
club.
kind
No.
of no, it's not.
Because like clubs are dark, but that's more. There's 100% light. There can be children there. It's like a family get together, and everyone's like
So
dance.
it's all
I gotta find a video. It's the only way to explain is you gotta look at a video.
that's a very good job explaining then.
I'm sorry, I've never been to one either. I only see them on TV.
Okay, yeah,
It's
maybe
like
I'll probably recognize
Miley
it.
Cyrus kind of made it popular because she has a song Hood Out There Down. But really, all it is just you get together. You're dancing, mostly line dancing, and there's live music. You know, like I said, there's food, there's drinks, things like that. But it's like at a designated place.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, it's just line dancing, really much. He's gonna have a
Interesting.
good line dancing.
I'm trying to find a video, but nobody has this video, which is so weird.
The one place I thought would have been really cool for us to take closed, because I know there was this bakery slash bar that also had live karaoke on the weekends.
Ooh.
But they they closed down.
Aww.
All because the wait staff got shitty.
Oh.
So like everything else was great, but like the waitresses became crap, and like people just said they just didn't want to come back anymore.
Damn.
Oh no,
And so
that's
it
so
hurt
sad.
them, and like there's a whole entire mess with that. So won't really get into it, but yeah.
Interesting. Back to what before we went in down a whole burger charade and
Burgers are the mastermind of all mankind.
Okay, but I wouldn't hold them to that standard. Okay. I wouldn't. I really there's
Drop the thought, Len. You're losing it.
yeah. I'm losing the thought.
I'm
I'm also
my chat right now, and I'm gonna type losing it.
He lost his thought.
back to stereotypes. So
We're actually at saturation. No, I'm just kidding.
She's right, but you know we could segue to stereotypes and just kind of keep it super chill tonight and just talk about anything and everything.
anything and everything all of the time. You are right. We were on saturation. Saturation stereotypes. I mean, they are kind of both the same thing. Because
Technically, a stereotype is
well, okay.
I'm sorry. I'll just kidding.
Okay, better word is they both work together. So you see, I can bring it back.
Yeah,
They work together. Saturation. So let's go and look at Twitch, for example, because I mean, self plug, whatever. We're streaming on Twitch right now. Saturation on Twitch is massive. Like it is probably in terms of streaming platforms, like live streaming, not streaming platforms for movies and stuff, like actual like content creation live stream. It is probably one of the most saturated platforms out there. YouTube is saturated in videos and stuff, but they also have an algorithm that is designed for its saturation. Like YouTube, you can find anything. If someone thought of it, it's on YouTube.
That's true.
Right.
I can't wait to get back into content creation. I miss making videos.
On Twitch, I like the saturation, in my opinion, is like it's just so filled with the same thing over and over again. And this is not like a bad thing. It gives variety. It's like you will have plenty of like for preference. Maybe a viewer wants to watch a particular guy streamer, or maybe they want to watch a particular female streamer, or they want to watch a particular VTuber, or they want to watch a particular, like they have a variety of the exact same thing over and over again. When I say saturation, I mean it's so overpopulated that you can't, like, okay, I'm going to use VTubing as an example because I remember talking about this with someone a while back. When VTubing first became popular on Twitch, people were more interested in the models. They were, because it was something new. It was something new on Twitch.
That's true.
With the popularity of Hollow Live EN, it it increased a huge flush of new content creators trying out this new thing that's super popular and everything. And what it did is it brought out all the people who were currently doing it already. But what it did, and this was a big criticism, was it made a lot of people get a little cocky because they would get a lot of popularity very quickly because so much of the actual Twitch fan base, not like the VTuber audience, no, just the regular Twitch average viewer who would go and watch a facecam streamer, they would go over to a VTuber with a curiosity of like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? And then you would have streamers getting popular just because someone's curious about what the model is, not curious about the content. And it created this saturation of popular streamer, pretty low quality content because in the beginning, from what I found out, so many people just got popular only because they had a model and people didn't know what the model was. And after VTubing became like a staple, like, okay, VTubing is a type of streaming. And it took a while for VTubers to get accepted. It's like, oh no, you're an actual streamer. You just don't use your camera. You use something else, but you're an actual streamer. Once people got past this sense of curiosity, the saturation really started to kick in of, well, now there's a whole bunch of VTubers, but all their content is pretty mediocre. And this is not an offense to any of them. The whole trend
no, we're offending you. No, I'm just kidding.
The whole thing with streaming is you learn as you grow. That's the kind of general prospect, is you learn as you grow. But when you get suddenly popular and you didn't learn anything, how do you keep that growth if you don't know how to keep that growth? So I noticed it was like a huge trend where a lot of big streamers would get small, and it's because their content was just the average Joe, and then it created this huge influx of saturation of mediocre content and VTubers, and it made it hard for new VTubers who have good content to start growing, because it got to a point where people were like, you're a VTuber, okay, cool, I'm gonna go over this way.
Yeah.
And I think that's where like saturation can get bad, because the discoverability gets very hard on Twitch in particular. Like Twitch, if you want to grow, you need, and like from every partner I've talked to from times when I went to TwitchCon and would go to those panels, they all say the same thing. You need to grow elsewhere before you can grow on Twitch, because Twitch as a platform does not favor new content creators. They favor established content creators. So they'll keep promoting those big streamers to the front page over and over, and they'll keep exposing new viewers to this established streamer versus the small streamer who just started, who's been streaming maybe about 6 months and has really good content, but because it's so far down in the category of people live streaming and there's no proper way to filter the saturation, no one will ever know about that viewer if they don't have they don't have a prominent YouTube channel, or they have a prominent following on Twitter, or they have a huge TikTok channel. Like, all of these platforms are needed in order to help separate you out of saturation of Twitch. And I think that's where saturation becomes a problem. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
And like, I think it's a lot of things that sometimes things get saturated like that is because it is the newness and people see people getting popular very quickly from it, so therefore they jump on that bandwagon. All because they just want that spike. And I've seen like already established Twitch people do that. Like, there was this one person I followed, like, he was always, face cam streamer, all that stuff, and he kind of got his popularity on Instagram, and then he's like, I'm gonna start Twitch, and so naturally everyone followed him to Twitch, and then COVID happened, which is kind of where we seen the spike of particular VTubers, and a lot of people taking up other forms of content creation because you had nothing but time, you were indoors all day.
Yep.
And
yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
And then he, out of nowhere, he's like, I'm gonna be a VTuber. It was like, oh, okay, and I wouldn't even say he stuck with even a full year. He stopped and switched back to his face cam.
Oof.
But he spent all this money on this really good, high quality VTuber model, and he doesn't even use it. He just stopped completely. And it's like, why did you do that? And it's just like, oh, just the fab, just what was popular at the time.
That's actually an interesting thing to talk about too.
Yeah,
Trends.
because it was like, for me, it was definitely the combination of the fact that it was COVID. Not everyone could work from home. So streaming really did pop off at that time because of COVID. And it was just interesting because it was just like
just that everybody knew was like wanting to get in streaming at that time.
Yeah, it was so interesting because it was like people who've never heard of VTubing just suddenly bought VTubing models, and even though it was so popular at the time, it's still hated. Like there was this guy who did a VTuber concert, and so many, I'm just gonna call the normies, the people who are in the VTuber community, they were making fun of them. It was so sad. I was just like, what the actual flabbergast? This poor guy, he just like getting he was getting beat up in the quote retweets because he moved like a stiff board. He moved like plankton. But it was just, I mean, sorry, not plankton. The the board from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
No, what's that?
Oh my god.
What's that?
Lord.
Oh my god. Yeah, the board of hold on, what's his name?
Every time you say board, I want to say Ouija board, but I know that's not what you're talking about.
Plank?
Plank!
Huh?
Plank. Oh man, he's literally just this.
It's a little piece of plywood that's been cut down, maybe like the length of your forearm, and he has a smiley face drawn on him, and then that's it.
Yep.
It was this kid's like best friend, imaginary like friend, but he carried around this little small piece of plywood with a smiley face on it, and that was his best friend.
That was his homie.
Interesting.
Anyway, the point is that he was stiff as fuck as a board. So it was just like I actually thought the concert was pretty cool because like I'm into the VTuber sphere. It was like one of my biggest streams. Like I've been watching VTubers since Kizuna Ai, like the first ever, like quote unquote ever VTuber. Like people who like to say that she wasn't the first VTuber because there were people who were using other like virtual models before her, but it was just like she coined the term, so I'm gonna call her the first VTuber. Okay?
I think that's a very good way of like VTubing's been around since streaming's been around because people have been doing PNG tubers and kind of virtual. It's just you're a virtual character. At the core of it, it's a virtual character. So there is no really fair term to say when was the first. So the only way you can really measure when the first was like, okay, well, when was the first major streamer that did this?
Which was Kizuna Ai. Yeah, she had a company, she had a backing, and then she was based in Japan. That's where the virtual VTubing came. It was strictly based in Japan. But then other people were like, I like what you're doing. So they started doing it over here in America, even in the even like I don't know which specific, like the Hispanic countries are doing it too. So it's like really expanded.
It's it's expanding to different cultures and different countries because
it's like a way to this really popular essence of anime as being brought to reality. It's like the remember those old games you used to play when you were younger? You were
No.
like reading stories about like in the future there would be like virtual avatars that would represent us. It's like that's like becoming reality. So that's how I saw it. So yeah, it was just like so cool. So when the big boom happened, which was I believe 2019, of all the boomers, I mean like sorry, all the VTubers popping out, like everybody and their baby mama was a VTuber.
Oh, seriously.
Everybody was
Yeah.
a VTuber.
I mean, that's probably how I got exposed to the
Yeah.
entire thing, was because I don't even, genuinely, I don't remember like how I found it, but I somehow found Hololive EN.
Yeah,
it was
they were
it was Gargura.
established.
Yeah, it was Gargura. It was Gura that I was watching, and then I think I moved on to watching Calimori, and that was kind of like what exposed me to it.
Because they had localized it. It was not just anime. It was these. They started going to the American franchise, which was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'm literally remembering the old days when I would sit there with my Japanese VTuber and reading English subtitles like, yeah, you go Japanese girl. And I got, I have no way of going to see her, but it was just so cool. And they've made such like spectacles of what they do. Like VTubers, the reason why I say that Kizuna Ai was the first VTuber, because even if people had virtual models, nobody was doing things like she was doing.
Yeah.
Like, do you see that she streams, does art, comedy, stand-up comedy at that, acting, concerts, like the mass production, they are producing artists who do everything. So it was just like, not everybody's doing that. So it like kind of goes back to what you were saying, like people were picking up their VTuber models and like you see this really cool model, but you weren't getting that high quality
content
company company backing. You were like getting 10% of what everybody else was doing that were like company based, which is why I'm so happy that it's still kicking, honestly, even with all the saturation. The one thing that I've noticed is that we've grown. The people who didn't get popular 1 month after debuting their really expensive model went on to do something else. That's great. I'm so sorry you spent all that money for something you didn't properly, and you thought investing this was only going to be enough, but it's more than that. And it's not like they could have researched it anyways, so I won't fault anybody for doing that. It was something like it just started. So what I bring that up to say is I do thank them for being the statistic, so now that we can grow. I'm so sorry I said that, but listen,
but
it's
true. But it's quite literally, when it comes down to certain specific things, regardless if it's brutal or not, it's not being said to offend the person. This is just the general statistic. It's, you tried it out, you didn't want to commit to it, and you went on to move something else. And I think this is something where saturation does help, in a sense of it helps filter out people who don't want to commit. Who don't want to do the work, because that's something with when you have any kind of saturation, and it's like, especially like also in the film industry as well, when you have something with saturation, your competition is pretty much anything you can come up with was probably already made by someone. So how do you make something grow if your idea is not original? Because original ideas are always going to be more popular than something else that someone's already done. That's
technically, right? You don't need to necessarily have an original idea to pop off. I'll be honest.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
If you think about it in the art aspect, like, I've been learning from Yuri, and she's like, you learn to draw by studying other people's artworks. So
yeah.
The best way to do this is to study and learn and like bring it all together and make your own version of it, So like it's possible. Everyone can be a VTuber. It's just that, are you willing to
put in the work?
Like, are you willing to 1000% put everything for the next 3 years? Because at the end of the day, you could put in a lot of work. In the next 10 years, you get nothing. But it's really waiting for that lucky moment for when you do pop off
Well,
and then grabbing hold of it.
mhm.
That's really
Knowing your
the
opportunity is
yeah,
the
exactly.
phrase to say. Well,
But you'll never know what it is, which is the
mm-mm.
saddest part.
Yeah, that's the hard
Because
part.
you'll be sitting there and then suddenly all these people talking to your chat and you're like, oh, but I'm in a bad mood today. Let me end stream. What
Eh,
if that was your opportunity, you know?
yep.
Yeah.
Like that, the seizing the opportunity is something that can be applied like streaming and also in the film industry. And also in terms of what you were saying with you could be working for like 2 years, 6 years or whatever and not getting any return. Well, but then you could get return after working. It's just it won't be immediate. Take Iron Mouse for example. She was VTubing from my knowledge for like years before
Yes.
she actually blew up and
Yes.
did. It was this very kind of trickle, kind of slow incline. That's kind of natural things that happen from doing it for years. But then all of a
Yes.
sudden, like there was an opportunity that came. She seized it, and now she's Iron Mouse.
Shy Lily as well. Her opportunity was that new model. She was 3D like us.
mhm.
So it really is seizing that opportunity. And she seized it and she's a fucking I don't want to call her a multimillionaire, but her and Iron Mouse are one of the few of the top VTubers, you know,
Mhm.
in the entire industry. When new games get updates, they're getting sponsored right away. Like
Mhm.
Honkai, the newest update with Acheron, they immediately started playing it. They don't play Honkai, but they were the first few to get into the deals and do an ad sponsorship with Honkai and with Genshin. So it's just like, you know, to
Mhm.
get that at the end of the day, it's not about how much money you're making, it's how much influence you have to to help everyone else make money. I'm so sorry, I stored it so hard just now.
You're fine. You're fine.
Oh no.
But you're right. It's
Yeah.
like working hard is something that you need to do, but you also need to be on the lookout for your opportunity, and you won't know when that opportunity is going to come.
Yep. 1 second.
You're good. You're good. Like an opportunity could come tomorrow. An opportunity could come the next day. An opportunity could be waiting for you a week from now. It's not about, well, do you wait for the opportunity? No, you should wait for an opportunity. You should be working and working, but you should have, I think, that open mindset of being ready to seize the opportunity. And when you have the opportunity, don't just half-ass it. Put everything into it, because that's the only way that you can capitalize on that opportunity.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think that's what I was gonna say on that. I'm trying those. I had a train of thought.
Saturation. Uh-huh.
Yes, well, saturation. I think I've said everything like I wanted to say
Yep.
on that.
So another thing on saturation. Yes. You're yapping.
Saturation also has a really good way of filtering out people who want immediate success. Because immediate success is a 0.001% chance. You can't, it's very, very hard to get it. You gotta have some extreme luck to immediately be successful. When you're dealing with something like Twitch, you quite literally can't blow up from the first stream you do. You need to do something else beforehand. You need to be in order for you to blow up your very first stream, you need to either know someone who's massive who will be there and will shout you out or will do something to give you this blow up, or you need to have this YouTube channel or this other content platform that you've built up over years, and then you cater your audience to the fact of like, oh, I'm doing my first Twitch stream on this day, and then like it's a fresh YouTube channel, it's like a fresh Twitch channel. But it's like the essence of, in order to have like a majorly successful first stream, you gotta work outside of Twitch to try and bring that in. You can't just download OBS, connect a Twitch account, go live, and expect to see 100 people in your chat. That's not gonna happen. Twitch will never give that to you. Especially non-affiliates.
Yeah, the thing you were saying about connecting and using other platforms is 100% correct, because if we look back at the history of like streaming, what really made someone popular was if they were a successful YouTuber. And I only watched Twitch streams if it was my favorite YouTuber. So, and I know that's how it was for everyone else, because everybody was addicted to YouTube and nobody was really watching Twitch streams unless the Twitch streamer was a popular YouTuber. So like growing from YouTube was one of the biggest successful ways to do it. But now that's no longer it, because the way of YouTube is different. Everybody's doing YouTube, and
we're not even going to touch the rabbit hole of YouTube.
Oh my god, YouTube is way easier than Twitch, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh no, it most definitely is. Like, there is an algorithm, and it's simple to understand once you know, because I mean, there's people who know it. Like, okay, I know it will cause controversy with someone, but Mr. Beast, he is extremely successful, and like him, hate him, you have to respect him.
Like him or hate him, he's making the big bucks.
He just signed a deal with Amazon.
Listen, I don't think I've ever heard of a streamer signing a deal with Amazon. What?
Yeah, so he signed $100 million deal with, I think it was Amazon, with Prime Video to make a game show, like an actual serious big game show.
Kudos.
So
to
like,
him.
but he like, there was a podcast where it's like these people, they sat down with Jimmy and they broke down and
that's you saying his first name.
He says it himself.
No, what I mean is, if you were like a writer and you were like, oh, Jimmy does this, they would have slapped you on the wrist. You're supposed to call them by their last name.
I don't know his last name.
Like, that's okay. I'm just joking. Go on.
It's Mr. Beast or Jimmy. It's one of the two.
Mr. Beast.
So he basically, like, he's the channel Mr. Beast is a content machine. He's also like he started out as a YouTuber, yes, but now he's a YouTuber, but he's also an influencer. He's also a business,
a multi-billionaire.
Well, I wouldn't say billionaire. Billionaire, sure, because like he could sell his stuff for, if he wanted to sell everything, I think it would be valued at like over $1 billion, but he's like, that's not worth it. He has a huge company, Feastables, which is this major chocolate bar company that is in pretty much your everyday retailer. Hell, I was at Target today and I saw a Feastables bar. I remember when he launched that product. He has multiple different YouTube channels. Every channel on his main channel, Mr. Beast, every video is a success because he won't upload something that he knows is not going to be a success. He knows how the algorithm works, in the sense of he knows how the thumbnail draws the audience in. He knows how the content will engage the audience. He knows what the audience will watch. And this is proven by like another person. So on paper, you would think if you got a Mr. Beast shout out, it'd be huge for you, right? But
that'd be major.
It's not. Like, I mean, you'd get an initial boot. There was this one YouTube channel that got a shout out from Mr. Beast, and that shout out basically, and it wasn't Mr. Beast's fault. It wasn't anyone's fault. It was just the nature. It killed the channel. The channel
Oh,
got
no.
he did a shout out. They got a huge boost in video, in views and subscribers, but they made vlogs and they didn't adapt their content because every viewer that was going over to this channel that got shouted out, they were all Mr. Beast viewers. They all watched Mr. Beast content. And this channel that they got shouted out to go to didn't do Mr. Beast content, didn't do the type of content that Mr. Beast did. And so it effectively killed the channel because they had now this huge inflated number of subscribers, but they're barely getting views. And it's because their content was not what the audience wanted. This is where it's like the algorithm actually has like, it does work in the sense of once you have an audience crafted to your type of content, the algorithm will place it to people who watch similar stuff to what you're watching. You can't watch a tutorial on you can't watch a tutorial on what's the most random object I have. You can't watch a tutorial on how to cut paper and then automatically get the best kind of like movie advertisement because they don't coincide. If you watch a video on how to cut paper, you are more likely to get recommended more tutorials, more things relating to the type of content that you watched.
Yep.
So anyways, that was what I was going to say there. Wada's good. Wada's good. I don't drink enough. I need to drink more. Ayumi, are you drinking water? Yuri, are you drinking water?
Oh God, he's a
I mean, I
yapper.
have a whole entire water fountain, so I mean, what's that tell you?
I mean, okay, fair enough. And yes, I am a yapper. That's a yapper. Yappity yap yap yap.
So, about saturation. Back to saturation. With the VTubing community, there's something I wanted to say.
Did you lose your thought?
Not really lost it. I'm trying to remember what we were talking about. It was like we started.
Well, you were talking about like the first VTuber, like in terms of like popularity and type of content.
And there, my thought process too. Okay. So there was multiple Japanese VTubers who were literally like just stand-up comedians, and they were absolutely hilarious. They did their things pre-recorded, so it was like they took over YouTube. And then I saw them slowly move over to Twitch, which was pretty cool. That also got saturated pretty quickly because it was like they just started hiring voice actors to do it. So it was like professional people doing the work. So, which is also another thing. They had the high quality equipment. They had the backing of a company. And then they were literally hired to like kind of play that character, which was pretty cool. But they made it seem so seamless, as if I was literally talking to someone like on the internet. Like if I just met Yuri yesterday and then like I'm talking to her right now, that's basically how I felt.
Oh, interesting.
Which I really liked. She's literally going on these websites. One of my favorite VTubers, her name was Kazuya. Hold on, Kaguya Yuna. Kaguya Luna. No. Yes, Kaguya Luna, right? She's so adorable. She used to do these comedy acts where she would go on this Japanese app, which was like, I don't know how to compare it. Think of like Skype, like you adding people on Skype, and then Discord. Think about Discord.
I was like Skype.
But it's like a more open Discord. You could see people and then you could add them and then you guys can get into conversations and talk to each other. It was pretty interesting. I'm trying to think of like another app that would better be a good comparison, but that's basically what it did. And she's talking to these people and she's being absolutely hilarious. It was just so funny to me. And she was pretty down to earth. I really liked her. She doesn't stream anymore. I don't know what it is with me with liking VTubers and then they fucking graduate. But
Oh,
I noticed
That's how
that.
they made it. The second you start watching them, they're like, okay, I made it. I peaked. Time to go.
that
Time to go is the craziest. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
But
that's how I know. Like when my Twitch stuff takes off, when I finally go
Mhm.
into it, when Yumi finally actually sit down actively from start to finish, watches the stream. That's when I know my career's over.
Oh my god, no! I can't ever watch your stream.
Ayumi, no. Okay,
Not
Ayumi, this
already.
is this is what you're gonna need to do. Whenever Yuri goes live, you're gonna need to be. It's like, all right, Yuri, I'm gonna be right back for 5 minutes because then she can't be like, oh, god damn it.
Right.
It's like you just need to because what she's saying is you need to be there for every second of her entire stream where you're watching the entire thing. It's like as long as you go away for a minute or two, she can't be like, ah.
Okay, so every like 30 minutes I take a break and I just stop watching, right?
Yeah. That way we can make sure
Okay.
Yuri always keeps streaming.
But to talk about how I can't wait for you to say streaming.
Oh,
But
that'll
to
be a great
bring
thing.
it back to how, like, in like this weird idol culture thing we've got going on, like if you
Ooh.
compare it, the VTuber community can be considered idols.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of leads back to the oversaturation as well, because I feel like there's a pretty big oversaturation in the K-pop industry. Like
Oh.
I can't personally say from experience that they're like in other music they're like oversaturated because I don't listen to them
Mm-hmm.
per se. Actually, no. I think there's oversaturation in hip hop too. Like I've just been seeing rapper after rapper. Like they just been producing the same female for the last 5 years. Like
Actually, there was a discussion about this not too long ago. Again, I say it on TikTok. You get anything off TikTok these days, but there was this guy asking, "Hey, yo, where's all the garage bands? What happened?" He's like, "Everybody's want to be a pop star or some rapper somewhere in the hip hop pop genre." And he's like, "Where's all your punk rockers? Where's all your hard metal rock?" He's like, white people. He's like, "I need you to bring back garage rock." He's like, "Where's all the guys that you walk down in your neighborhood or pass by and there's someone with their garage rock and there's 5 or 3 kids in their massive instruments trying to make something."
That
He's
is
like, "We
so
don't
true.
hear or see anything of that anymore." He's like, "I need y'all to bring it back."
Yeah, you're right. Like you don't see any of that anymore.
You're so
And it's like,
right.
isn't it? And honestly, if you sit there and think about it, how did Miley Cyrus start out? What was her genre?
She was country.
Okay, what was Taylor Swift's genre?
I don't
She
know.
was country?
And what they all switched to?
Pop?
Yep.
Why?
Demand,
Money.
popularity. That's kind of.
Yeah.
I think, but it makes sense because at the end, there is one thing like with being a content creator of any kind of thing. What the hell? My phone just went into like a whole weird clock. With any type of content creation, you have to adapt with the industry. You can't be and I think that's what happened with like Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, any of these like major artists that started out as one way but now are doing something completely different. I think it's a matter of they adapted with the industry because what they were doing wasn't going anywhere, and if they wanted to have a career, this is the path that they needed to go through. I think that's the root of.
I mean,
that.
I think it was so partially like it could have. I was like, yeah, I think part of it was probably like money wise and things like that, but also it's just like something that they wanted to do at the end of the day and just wanted to be in that genre. But it's like no, like, there's a point like you don't really hear much of the others like deviating out or hear any other genres.
You don't,
and
yeah.
the thing with the K-pop thing, like everybody, like K-pop is now so unbelievably popular. Whereas, when I was growing up, I mean, it was popular, but nowhere near to the degree that it is now. And it wasn't. Again, it goes back to how like before, like if you're a nerd, you're a loser. If you're an anime, you're you're a geek, you're a loser,
Yeah.
you're like, a cool person.
Being
But now all of a
stereotyped.
sudden it's all cool, and same thing, with K-pop. It's like if you're into K-pop, oh, that's weird. Like they're not singing in English. How you understand them? But now it's so popular. They're like, oh, you're from
Yeah.
K-pop. Cool. Each their own, dude. Each their own. It's like, yeah. And now everybody's wanting to be in that field.
Mm-hmm.
I think
like-
it's. Mm-hmm.
As I'm saying, it's the same thing like how like we grew up on it.
Yeah.
The kids over there, they grew up on it. I mean, and it's their language and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to watch all these people, and of course, like they want to, be a part of it and be in it.
It goes to show how popular, like, or how consistent we were with the fan base. I do think it kind of stems from like the whole boy band era. Like, we didn't have the One Direction anymore. We didn't have the Big Time Rush anymore. We didn't have the what's the big band that came before them? Like that
Street Boys
the
and
Beatles.
Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC, yes. We didn't have that anymore. So it was just like we went looking elsewhere. Like I remember in junior high school, I was literally searching on YouTube, and I was literally the first boy band that I had that it was just like this Japanese boy band that I have no idea what their name is. And they were all wearing white, and they all had a different color t-shirt. They were like all wearing white suits, white pants, and like a white jacket, and they all had like a different color shirt. And it was literally the cutest thing ever. And they were just like hot. It was like that thing I needed. That I was missing, like One Direction was like Zayn was gone, okay? Like there were so many things going on. Like it was just I could feel it though. It's like what you're saying, like how small it was, because I would bring it up and my family would be like, "Oh my god, you and your people from over there that don't speak English." And I'm like, "Well, it's better than hearing about ass all day, so I don't know what you want me to tell you."
It brings me joy, alright?
I really liked it because it was just like it was different. Like you said, it was something I didn't know the language. I didn't know what they were singing about, but their melody and the beat and like everything they were bringing across, it got to me. So that's really what kept me going, and especially the fact that how long I've been with BTS. Like I'm not going anywhere. I'm really not going anywhere. I used to have dreams about marrying Jungkook. Oh my god. I remember the good old days. But yeah, it's really changed to the point where when you brought it up earlier, you were like how grand it's like become. I think it's because since they've marketed themselves more to the American market, it's expanded. That's what they needed.
Yeah.
Staying in the Korean market, it was not bad for them, but they went from this is gonna be another topic that I don't know if you want me to bring up right now, but
Go ahead.
specifically for Yuri, I don't know if you heard, but Boa's retiring.
Who?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did hear about it.
Okay,
Be queen.
So, let me, because Boa's one more.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
So, do you remember in the 90s and in 2000s, over here, everybody was all about Britney Spears?
Yes.
Okay, that is basically the equivalent to Britney Spears. Bokwon is Korea's Britney Spears, just minus all the crazy. And kind of in a way, I would say possibly more successful. For the simple fact, she still kept in the industry for as long as she did and was popular, I guess, wider in a way. It's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, Britney had all this craziness going on at that, and Boa, like, just didn't, and she just came back with banger after banger. But she kind of helped pioneered a lot of the K-pop scene, because when Britney Spears was coming out, like, SM was just like, we need somebody like that. We need to start scouting for somebody like that. And lo and behold, here's Boa, and they're like, hey, can you sing? Can you dance? Try this out for us. And then that was it. That was their it girl. and she became so popular, and they're like, okay, we need good relations with Japan, so like let's use Boa. So she learned Japanese, they sent her to Japan, she blew up there, she was blowing up Korea, you know, she had this big mass following, and she's pretty much known as like how we call Britney like the princess of pop. She's like the princess of pop over there in K-pop. So she's been in the game for years. And so like her finally stepping back and saying, hey, I want to retire, that's a big thing. It's and also kind of sad because it's like it's the end of an era in a way, because like watching this woman from a child go through all of this and grow up, and then it's like we're at this point now where all of our faves are like starting to retire, and it's sad, but at the same time I'm happy for her, because then it's like she can relax and she can just enjoy life of what she has left and like pursue other things. Because I mean, like I said, she's been in it for so long and has been able to retain her popularity. It hasn't really wavered.
She literally carried an entire country and history on her back. Like, she could take a rest now.
Yeah, like if you like go into the history, like she will be, at least K-pop history, I say, just like how BTS like paved the way, same as Big Bang and 21 and CL.
Yes.
Like Bella was like a part of that. Like she helped pay. Like these artists are like, hey, we walked so you could fucking run.
Like she paved the way for to connect Japan and Korea, and then Gen 3 paved the way for Korea to make success in America, which is like really amazing. Like I didn't know I was watching it at the time, so it was so funny to me that I didn't know who Boa was, quote unquote, because I knew who she was. I just never paired the Boa in my head to the I didn't know she had such a magnificent history. I was like, that's Boa? Boa did that? I was like, my Boa? No. Like, I knew Boa from this really good song from Inuyasha. Like, I was like,
yeah,
are they the same Boa?
That's how I learned it, because she did 2 openers for Inuyasha. I was like, who is this? And my brother was like, oh, it's some artist, like, her name's Boa Kwan. So I'm like, alright, time to deep dive.
I love that. I love doing the history, like the search. Like, who is this? I feel like I've heard this before. So,
right? I was actually listening to one of her albums on the drive home just the other day, and then like a few days later, she's like, "Hey, I'm retiring." I'm like, "No, but yes, but no."
I didn't even hear from her. I heard it from another source. I don't know where these like sources on Twitter are. They're actually like news sources for the music and things like that. So I'm just like hearing a bunch of nonsense, and this is the actual. I was like, this has to be fake. And then I started reading and I started scrolling up. Said, "Oh my fucking god." I gotta talk to Yuri about this, but then I was busy today, so I didn't get a chance to. Yeah, so I was gonna talk tomorrow, but then now we have a chance to talk about it right now. So,
I think it's like I guess in a way, like I'm ready for Boa to retire. Like I get, understand. Like I said, she's been in it so long. I think she's like a woman in her, oh god, is it her mid to late 30s? I think she is, or early 40s. Like I said, she's been in the game for a while. So I'm just like, again, I totally understand and I respect the fact, like, yeah, you want to step back. You want to focus on your life in a different area other than trying to always be a performer and a celebrity. So, like, I respect it. Am I sad? Yes. But at the same time, I'm sending her off with all the love and goodness I could ever wish her.
Yes, Queen. Oh my god. It makes me so sad because, like, as you're saying this, it's, like, hitting me that we weren't that way with Rihanna. Like, Rihanna was like, I'm done with music. I want to focus on clothing lines, makeup, and everything else. And then we sat there and we were like, Rihanna, where's your next album? Rihanna? We're still asking. Like, what?
I guess because in a way we just didn't take Rihanna really that seriously. And we're like, no. I guess because if you think about her music career, isn't that long, and that's probably why. Whereas Boa's music career is way longer than Rihanna's. Her music career is actually longer than Britney Spears.
Wait, Boa dead? How long are we? Because it's so funny when they had that group with the girls and they like mixed different SM artists together. and they made that group, and Bo was there, and then Taeyong was like, she's like, what is this old lady doing here? I was cracking up. The disrespect, but that it's okay. I knew it was completely like a love-filled comment.
Mm-hmm.
But you were saying?
I mean, that was just that, you know, her music career has lasted much longer than some of our artists over here. So, like, again, it makes sense why it's hitting us in a different way, and why we still, even though it's like, it's sad, we're still kind of happy for her, and we want to send her off with that love. Because, again, she's done it for so long, and it's just like, yeah, now's a good time to step back.
Yeah.
Whereas, like you said, Rihanna, it kind of just blindsided you, and you're just like, oh, well, what the fuck?
I really was so shocked. Like, I haven't said anything on Twitter or anything like that, but I'm literally still I'm waiting for an album. When she did that concert for that wedding, oh my god, that was like $6 million. Bro, I was watching that shit like it was the thing I've been waiting for all my life. But to rein it back to I love talking about Boa. I feel like you gotta come back to this, like touch upon it in like a proper light, you know?
Yeah, this is stuff like for the Tell Me Something Nerdy podcast.
Ooh, because I was literally sitting here and we were talking and I was like, that is true. That is true. Tell me something nerdy. We're sitting here and I thought of like a topic that we could bring up, and that should be another topic, like retired artists.
Yeah, we can do that.
So next time. But what I wanted to bring up was the saturation in the K-pop industry right now. Like, we talked about how it's such a good thing, like watching our artists grow up together, how they like pave the way for the new generation of artists. But at the same time, I feel like so many people are just doing the same thing. Like, I used to look at K-pop as that it was something new, it was something different, but it was also, it had like a weird uniqueness to it. Like, it was something I've never seen before. I'm gonna show you guys a video later. I think Yuri might know them. But it's literally when I was in film class and I was trying to get people into K-pop, this is the video that I showed them to get them into K-pop. I'm like, you'll love K-pop because the current age of it is like, it's got hip-hop mixed with R&B. Like, that's literally what hip-hop is today. They sorry, I'm so sorry. Oof, I almost said something. It's hip hop mixed with R&B, and it's like really become a norm, which I am happy about because like it's more towards my flavor of music. But I also do miss somewhere in me like that quirkiness about it. Like, I would watch videos and I'd be like, what the hell am I watching? I love this.
I love those feelings when it's just like, you're just like, I don't know what this is, but I like it.
Literally, I'm like, what am I watching? Let me see if I can find the video. So I could tell they're catering towards the American audience, which is fine. But I do wish, like you said, like, you know how where are those garage bands who are just making music to make music, and like these 3 or 4 people in their garage just like chilling out, having a good time, just rocking out, you know? Like, where's the quirky?
Like, if you want to think about it, again, go look back at the big 3 companies, and it's just like, or basically just 2 of them, because I mean, JYP's kind of on the quiet end, and there's like JYP, even though it's a big 3 company. But really, normally the most of the like back and forth, or I guess competition, came from SM and YG Entertainment. Now, if you look back at the older YG, back when YG himself was running the company, and I mean, I hate to say it, but around the time when Blackpink came in is when things started to change.
That's true.
And if you look back in, YG's like, I don't care about looks or anything like that. He's like, what is your talent? Can you actually sing? Can you actually dance? Can you do all this? And where SM's like, if you don't have a voice, don't worry, we'll fix that in audio. We can teach you lip sync, and we can just put a voice. And they did do that. They made it like, oh yeah, we did that. She had a pretty face, so we put her on stage. And so pretty much SM just like they knew they could market looks, so if their artists didn't look pretty, they didn't want them. Whereas
That's
YG's
true.
like, I don't care about looks. I care about, can you write music? Can you sing? Can you rap? Can you dance? What level of what somewhere on the music spectrum, what can you do? Show me. And he's like, okay, cool. I can work with that. Even though he did care about looks to some degree, but it wasn't enough to like to SM stands where it would sway and change things. Even though again he did say he did call 21 his ugly group.
That's I remember it,
And
but it still hurts.
yeah, and how he
Because
would come and say you guys need to put on more makeup, but at the same time they were dominating. They were basically what all the girl groups are doing now, being like Girl Crush, how much they're all wanting to be Girl Crush now. That was 21. And it wasn't a trend for 21. That was just, no, this is us, and this is what we do, this is what we make, and this is how we are. Whereas it started to kind of become a trend or a concept. So other companies like women, like their girl groups are all cutesy, and then boom, Girl Crush. Now the girls are learning to rap, and they're dancing, and all this stuff, and it's just like, your style of dance has changed, your sound of music has changed, and now you got rappers that just came out of nowhere. Cool, got it. So, yeah, like I said, like, you look back at that, like, it was always them two. Like, SM had the pretty cute girls, and YG was like, no, we're going to focus on, like, hip-hop and things like that, and more talent. But then, with the introduction of Blackpink, it shifted. Because all the girls are really, really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And all of YG, his focus went 100% to Blackpink. He wanted to make 21 2.0. That was the goal.
that is 100%.
That was the goal. But again, unfortunately, YG failed yet again with their girl group. Because it's like they'll let them get so big and then they'll just stop. They'll stop helping them, start promoting them, stop supporting
They
them.
just completely cut everything off?
Yeah. So that's how 21 lost. Like, the rug got ripped out underneath them, completely blindsided them. CL, who was the leader of 21, was over here when she seen the news in a news article.
That is so fucked.
And then back in, oh god, what Olympics? It was one of our more recent Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And it was being held in Korea. She was asked to perform at the Olympics. And she was still under contract with YG. They did not give her anything. She had to hire out of her own pocket the dancers.
What?
And all of the production and everything. She had to do that out of pocket. And then for that, she did her own makeup, her own wardrobe, and her own hair. Because YG did not supply any of it. Even though they're like, hey, we want your artist to represent us and perform at the Olympics.
What the fuck?
No, he's fucked for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when, like I said, it's unfortunate. And it's like, I don't want to make this slight to Blackpink. I'm not blaming Blackpink in any way. It's just we all clearly seen the shift in the focus when the moment that Blackpink became a thing, when they debuted, the shift changed. And now it's like, if you look at the YG artists and everything, they're now also looking at looks. They're not just looking at talents, they're looking at the looks, they're looking at marketing value. But also now, like, YG stepped down because of all of the drama and the backlash that he was getting amongst other things.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Now someone else is now taking over. And it's like they don't know how to market these artists or what to do with them, and it's like it's bad. It's unfortunate because I have not been attached to a YG artist in a hot minute. I would say Blackpink probably the last one that I like. I haven't listened to any other artist out of them. And the unfortunate thing about Blackpink is they've been active for so long with very few songs.
Oh no! Oh
and
no!
The end of the era of Blackpink is coming to an end now. If you look at it,
yeah, it is. They have a new group that they're pushing right now.
Yeah, see, and it's just like once they get the new shiny thing, YG just wants to ignore their others, and it's just like those are your foundation and your backbone. What are you doing? But anyway, back to what we were saying before. But yeah, things changed. It all shifted. But people watching them, growing up wants to be them or wants to have a chance to work with them. So they're all joining, the K-pop industry or or trying to market in off of it somehow, one way or another.
Yes, it's unfortunate. The three big
like,
they have changed their it's like they're coining the American music, but still keeping their beauty standards, which I find pretty cool. But at the same time, then it's just like, where's the uniqueness in it?
Yeah, the variety. Because like I said, I remember that like I said, SM was all more your pop stuff, and YG was like the more hip hop kind of thing.
And then JYP has like a mix.
JYP kind of had like a little mix of everything.
Yes.
And so it's like you got a variety across the board of what all these different artists did. And me, I always lean more towards the R&B hip hop stuff, and because that was just me. And so, and I liked a few of the pop things, like Girls' Generation. Everyone like what crazy was Girls' Generation.
Girls' Generation.
I was an SNSD fan. I liked a few of their songs, but I wasn't seeking it out. But if you told me, hey, 21's going concert live and you can go, I'm already on that plane.
Yes.
I'm already gone. But if you told me the same thing for Girls' Generation, I'm like, that's cool, but I'm a pass. Let someone else who's actually a fan and who will really enjoy the drama go to that. I'm not going to take that spot.
Cool.
So, like, that's a difference.
I do think the sad part about the saturation in the K-pop industry is that they're literally all of them are just hip hop and R&B. Like, there's no distinction. There's like no country music, no only rare times there'll be
K-pop. Like, country was never really in it.
I know.
Unless
I'm just like saying genres. I was just like
it, but still, that was still kind of its own genre. It wasn't really considered K-pop.
Yeah, I was just saying genres. Because what K-pop was that it was like just Korean music, but like the pop side of it. Because like we call, like you said, Blackpink. That's the more R&B hip hop side, but we still couldn't consider that under the K-pop like tag, right? So their music was so broad that you can get 3 different tracks in one song, which was so interesting to me. But I just said country because it was just music genres that came out the top of my head.
No, that's fine.
It's like you can't get anything anymore, and I feel so sad because I'm listening to the top brands, like the top whether they are with one of the big 3 right now or not. It's just they all sound the same. The few who sound different, which I will not lie about in the current gen, are girl groups. Girl groups are taking the reign, and it's honestly the best. Have you heard of New Jeans?
No.
Super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine. Their discography reminds me of the old K-pop, like Gen 2 era. And okay, give me a second. And I like it so much because sorry, I was talking to Minnie.
You're good. You're good.
I like it so much because it's like their music. I like their music so much, which is it just makes me so frustrated that they're advertising young girls, but they're doing such a good job with the music, but I feel like I can't watch them. I can only listen to the music. They literally have an 11-year-old. Is it 11 or 13? They have a 13-year-old in the group. And it just makes me so frustrated. Ugh. but that's a different topic entirely. And I just really do like their music. It's what I've been wanting, and it's like everyone loves them, not because it's literally just because of their music. Their music is such a reminiscent thing in the K-pop, and I'm sorry, my brain. I love them, but they're children. I'm so conflicted.
I mean, when you listen to them and watch the music videos, you don't have to feel weird about it. It's just you like the music.
Yeah, it's because
you're a true K-pop fan.
I literally was reading something where it was like they had a meet and greet and there were like 40-year-olds there, and it's just, I'm not bringing this up to bring up the topic, but it's just like it's just something that's like weighing heavily on my mind. Is because it's technically supposed to be like a industry that everyone can be a part of, but it's just like now these I'm not trying to defend them, but it's like where they're advertising to them. So I'm in such like a bind.
It's a thin rope that they are riding on right now.
They literally are riding
because it is not an industry, from what I'm hearing, it's like it is not an industry that is very kid friendly. It's like they have to be very careful with how they navigate the maze.
Maze would be a good word.
Yeah.
The maze of K-pop.
The same thing can be said the opposite way, because this is something I've seen recently, is that so looking at like Super Junior and EXO and members from either of those generations of the K-pop you're gonna look at me and say I'm age appropriate for them, right? So I seen this happen recently on Twitter where, a group from that time era, from either of those eras, like had a concert or something, whatever, like something happened, what was going on. I don't remember which or who or what, but I just remember the argument. And it went from Twitter and it went on to TikTok, so I've seen it from both sides. Just more evidence of it, I should say, not both sides, but more evidence. Of younger girls, like, looking at women my age or around my age, in disgust, or like, why are you, listening to these guys? Why are you watching these guys or saying the things that you're saying about them? They're like, K-pop's meant for, the kids, or like for the younger people. And it's like, you do know some of these men are in like their 30s and 40s, right? Why is a 12-year-old, acting this way or lusting after grown-ass men? Like, they're for us, for you. What are you talking about?
Oh my god, I didn't know it was that deep.
Yeah, and so, like, there were arguments between grown adult women of all ages fighting, with these younger preteen to teenage girls. Not necessarily, are just like vocalizing, the issue here, because they're just like, we grew up on these artists, you guys didn't. Why are you mad at us for liking age appropriate artists? It didn't make sense.
Interesting.
So it seems to be like a really heavy coin that's like just it's not even a coin anymore. It's a scale. It's a scale that's been teetering for the past.
It's going this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way, and it's a very, from what I'm hearing, like K-pop, because like I don't know much about K-pop. I never like Ayumi's the reason, like I know what I know, which is pretty much nothing, but I at least kind of know. It's like I know enough that when I was working a gig that BTS was performing in front of me, and they performed like 3 songs.
So he like seeing BTS, and he's like, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. It's like,
I know who they are. I know that they're a part of the K-pop genre. I know that they are very vastly popular, and that's it. That's it. So like that's why I've been like very quiet because I'm just listening and kind of hearing what it is, and from what I'm
Mhm.
hearing, it's just like it's its own thing. It's its
Mhm.
own
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's
world.
its own thing, its own genre and everything. Like
Yeah.
even though they have hip hop and rap and R&B elements like that, I wouldn't go far as say it's exactly the same because there's still
Yeah.
it still has like its own flavor to it. It's its own sound.
Yeah, well, like it's very much kind of like its own world in a sense
Mhm.
Yeah.
because you can have it's while on technicality from what it sounds like K-pop is a genre. It's almost like it's more kind of from how it's treated, it's more treated as a category with
Mm.
subgenres.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And
I would say that's more accurate. Yeah.
it's a very complicated audience where you navigate it very specifically in order for something to do well, and then like the standard that some of these idols or artists or singers are held up to that I've seen, like I hear reports of like fans going absolutely ballistic sometimes, and it's like it really is its own category that while it's a genre of music, it's its own world. That that's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
That's very
Yeah.
true. You
I would
wrapped it
say
up perfectly.
yeah, I would say it's super accurate. Oh, and another example is back when this was going on, this whole entire argument thing. Um, it was around the time REM was doing that private concert. I think before he entered military or something like that, whatever. And like again, remember BTS? They're all different ranges of in their 20s to early 30s now,
Yeah.
and it was kind of really funny in a way because again, this argument thing was going on, and these younger girls were saying like, "Well, we better not see you or have anything from us, like from RM's concert and things like that." And then
What?
immediately after RM hits "Hey," he puts out a public post saying, "Hey, you have to be this adult age to attend my concert, no minors."
Ooh.
And it's like, oh,
The clap back. We didn't even have to clap back. Let's go.
it was
That's
like
so interesting.
the comedic timing of that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if he was aware of the war that was going on online with all these. Which I mean, I really doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it.
But I highly doubt because RM's not that type just to do that.
I think a lot of
No.
artists in general, when it comes to like how popular they are, they kind of tune out of social media. They don't pay attention to what a lot of people say about them
Mm-hmm.
because it's too much. And like there's a podcast that I listen to, Armchair Expert with Dak Shepard and Monica something, and like they bring guests on, but they were talking about it's like when you get a certain type of fame, you stop paying attention
Mm.
to what is said publicly about you because there's so much, and if you spend like if you dedicate it, if you make it so that you talk to these people, you that's a full-time job. That's why you like all these like big artists and big actors and big things, they all like when you try and contact them, they're like, oh yeah, this is the agent for so and so.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
That's so funny because it reminds me of that one time. I think one idol gave his phone number out.
Oh shit.
So everybody was texting him like he did it on purpose. Like he's a madman. I texted that number.
Someone from Super Junior?
I I
I remember. I think someone from Super Junior did that, and he actually legit like spoke back to the fans though.
yes, there were a couple of fans he spoke to. I'm not sure if it was a Super Junior one. I'll have to look up it to see. I remember texting the number.
Because I mean, girl, that's been
Mhm.
some years.
It has been some years. I remember texting the number and it got an automated service. I was so sad. I was like, I'm too late.
Oh no, that's a different one that you're thinking of. Because
Mhm.
this was, it was like his actual number, and he actually legitimately did reply to fans.
Yes, the thing was that it was his number, but I think his company took it over. So after all the messages the phone was getting, they had to throw it out or something.
Well, I'd imagine it was getting thousands upon thousands of texts or calls like every hour.
That phone had
it's
to
like,
go. Yeah, that phone was.
it got so backlogged that it probably would have taken days just for it to catch up.
Literally.
Yeah.
There's only so much data our technology can handle in
Yeah.
the current age. I mean, it's like you'll even nowadays, like if you get a lot of notifications right away, it's like they all kind of start lagging or overlapping. And
Yeah,
stuff
my
bugs
phone
out.
gets high. I'm just like, no, please.
I
Yeah.
still like that. The clip I uploaded today was you telling me it's like how you react when I like one time when I was texting you, you're like I saw that you were texting me and I threw my phone.
I'm sorry, Lynn. I was sleeping. It was
No, I know,
5 in the morning.
I know, I know.
What time was it for me?
No,
Might have been 9.
It was probably 9 or 10 or 11 your time because when I wake up, you're 3 hours ahead of whenever I wake up, which is most of the time is usually 6:30 to 7:30 when I'm awake.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like just getting notifications. Like I personally like on my phone, I check Discord enough manually. I don't allow push notifications. I don't have push notifications on any of my devices, aside from anything work related or text messages. Like if you want to contact me and you want me to see a push notification, you got to text my private number because like that's the only thing that gets push notifications. My other than that, everything's muted because I check it enough. Like I'm on Discord on my.
Is your Discord something you just manually check as well?
Yeah, I manually check my Discord.
Maybe I just haven't any time because it seems that when I text you, it doesn't take long for you to reply back to me.
Yeah, I just manually check it.
Oh.
That means every single second of the day he's checking Discord. You absolute madman.
No, it's
I'm just
I
kidding.
go. Well, because like most of the time, if I have a spare moment, I just go on, I check. If I have no new notifications, I close out, and I don't respond. Like if I don't respond within a period of time, it's because I quite literally am in the middle of something. Like if I'm working on set, like you'll respond to me, and then I'm just like gone, because it's like I only get on Discord when I can, which. Quite often whenever I'm at my mom's or whatever throughout the day. If I'm at home, I'm on my computer. But if I'm out, I usually have my phone and I am checking the notifications.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Although I did finally, like a little while ago, I adopted what you guys have adopted where it's like, yep, I'm on Do Not Disturb now.
I only have it on because I'm in a lot of Discords. Like I can scroll through my Discords.
Oh, trust me,
And
same here. That's why I had to turn it off because all these other Discord servers, no matter how many times I'd go through and mute them, I'd somehow get a notification from one of them, and I'm just like, that's why remember that one time when you went online, I was like, this is new, this is strange. Why do you have the green status instead of the red status?
Because people are like, you're always on Do Not Disturb. My friends are like, you're always on Do Not Disturb. So I was like, fine, I'll go online. And my phone blowed up every second of the fucking day. I regret it so much. Much.
Like it's like when you went on green, I was so genuinely surprised because I was like, oh, this will probably not end up to me. I was like, this is not gonna end up well. She's gonna get blown up a lot by someone. Like not to mention your servers. That's a
when I tell you literally every message possible that could have ever existed on my phone existed that day. It was such an unfortunate circumstance that I had to
turn off your phone.
I don't know what I did. I can't remember. I'm so tired.
Yeah. I think we should probably wrap it up. Like I think we talked about a lot of good stuff.
We have yapped a lot.
Yeah.
We've yapped for the last 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Yep.
I mean, it's like we can keep yapping, but I mean, it's like it's starting to get to the point where it's like,
Lynn?
Yumi, I'm trying to wrap this up.
Lynn,
Yumi.
I've been wrapping up.
If a certain cloud goddess would not have interrupted me, I would be wrapping up right now.
Is he singling me out?
I don't know. Am I? Singling you out?
And now he's being sarcastic? Oh my god. You're sleeping in the doghouse.
Fine.
Like Yuri put me on the doghouse, you go to the doghouse.
All right.
Oh no, it's no fun if you're just gonna.
You realize there's not. You can't do anything to me. That hasn't already happened to me already.
Oh dear, you actually slept in the doghouse IRL?
In a way, yeah.
Oh dear.
In a way, yeah.
Oh dear. Oh god, Kafka! Kafka! They killed Kafka! She's dead!
And he's playing Honkai on the side.
There we, yeah, I think.
Listen, you guys haven't guessed until this moment, so I've been hiding it pretty well.
You were hiding it really well because you were actually involved in the conversation, and then you just now yelled out that you were a Kafka.
I didn't think she was gonna fucking die!
So I'm the one who knew Honkai on the side already?
What? What'd you say?
So I'm the one who knew she was already playing Honkai on the side? She just now outed herself was all?
Oh shoot.
I didn't. Honestly, I genuinely did not know.
I did because I knew her schedule.
Yeah.
I know
but
Oh,
you know the ins and outs. Well, what's funny is I should have known because I was there when you had this. I was there. I don't even remember. This is why Yuri, you do the management stuff.
Do you remember the 21st night of September? Love was chasing the minds of pretenders. We're getting DMCA. You're welcome.
No.
Damn.
DMCA?
DMCA. No, we won't get DMCA. Don't worry.
Oh god, my characters are dead. Let's stop yapping. Oh god, they're dead.
How is my yapping the reason they are dying?
Lid, it's all your fault. Well, it can't be Yuri's fault because she's an absolute cosmic goddess.
So, actually, you know what? No, I because either way, it's gonna end up being my fault because if I say it's your fault by default, that just comes back to me.
Yeah, it's your fault. How dare you
I guess it
blame
is
the
my fault.
Queen of the Clouds?
I'll blame the Queen of the Clouds any day.
What? What? I'll have you know.
You'll have me know what?
He's sassing me.
Indeed. Don't say words unless you're ready to back them up.
You're sassing me.
That's fighting words is what that is.
Those were fighting words. You look you're too tired to fight back.
But you already are fighting back, so clearly not.
Because I'm a New Yorker. I can't help it. I have to clap back.
The city that never sleeps.
Literally.
You embody that spirit every day. Quite.
You're right. No sleep. No sleep. No sleep. No sleep.
I mean, I'm over here 4 hours of sleep, so.
I think, Lynn, you need to adapt the mindset 10 hours of sleep and then no sleep.
I am physically not allowed to do that.
Well, you know what? Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else where you'll be able to do that.
If I could, I would.
I wish you good luck, my friendo. I'm going to move to England and I'm going to snatch up Yuri and I'm going to snatch up Yellow. You're welcome to join.
Okay. Why are we going to England, though?
So we can get the castle.
Okay, I mean, fair, but okay. Okay. I don't really have any way to counter that. Hollywood.
Meh.
Honestly, no, but Hollywood, like, there is a lot of castles. In a sense of film world, we make our own castle.
I swear.
We make our own castle.
That's meh. The only appeal Hollywood had was In and Out, and now that's gone because Yuri has it. So I'm just gonna go to Yuri.
I mean, I think that was gonna happen anyways.
I'm gonna go to Yuri, and I'm gonna snatch her up.
I
Yay!
figured. No, it's like LA is very much a city of like if you work in the film industry in any regard, you live in LA because
Ba
pretty
ba ba
much
ba.
yeah, I'm just saying
Ba
like
ba
this is
ba ba.
it's a film machine here.
Ba
Now
ba
other
ba ba
blah 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 yourself. LA is very much like a film. It's like
Uh-huh.
my family could move elsewhere. Like they could move across the country. They could move things. I'd always be. It's like no, I gotta
Okay, good
stay.
night, Hawkeye.
I gotta stay here in LA, or at least have the ability to come to LA, because work is here. It is most all of my connections, all of my film industry stuff. It's like the moment I move out of state, I have to restart from scratch because all of my connections are here in LA.
That makes sense.
That's pretty
So
cool.
yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, I say it's a good time to stop here. Let's call it a night.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you everyone for listening to episode 10 of the Cloudset.
But I
It
didn't
was fun.
listen.
It was a good
Yeah.
2 hours. Yeah, we all yapped.
We did too.
It was good. It was good. I actually
Okay.
did better. I feel like I did better with transitioning.
You
Yeah.
transitioned? No, I'm just
It's
kidding.
just- with how we brought up saturation.
I'm just